everybody. It's me, Johnny, and with me I've got DJD
Howdy.
and Craig sitting back there in the booth. What's up, Craig? And once again, no farmer. D.
Not even a note this time.
Not even a note.
A last minute, 15 minutes still, like, hey guys, I'm not going to be able to make it.
I bet he's sleeping in his chair. That's what I bet. I bet he's sitting in his chair sleeping. Because he posted like an hour ago in the Discord, and I bet he was trying to stay up and he fell asleep. That's what I bet. I bet that's the issue, man.
Discord.navsphere.com.
David and I were having a fantastic 10-minute conversation about Square Enix, Expedition 33, and marketing. And that's all I'm going to say. We had a great conversation. And if people... So this is an important one. We actually record this live every week at the same time. Right, D? What is it again? What's the website?
Discord.navsphere.com.
Good luck spelling that. If anyone had come, they could have sat in the audience and listened, and it was actually a very good conversation. But we were waiting for Farmer and just kind of got caught up talking, and it won't be on the podcast. So if you have time on Tuesday afternoons from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Japan time, or what is the time Eastern?
It's like 11:30 p.m. Eastern. That is 10:30 p.m. Central. That is 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time, whatever the heck that is, and 8:30 p.m. Pacific Time.
On Mondays.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not Tuesdays.
And you guys can come in. And you guys can come in and hang out and listen to the recording. We read chat and do all of that. So do feel free to join. But basically, in the end,
that might be the first time we've actually said that on the podcast.
Feel free to join. Yeah, actually, I think so. Yeah, we have a live.
Or at least giving like details.
Yeah. Does anyone want to meet Craig? Craig's in there. I see Craig in the audience over there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But we are talking about Expedition 33 and specifically about this. There's this guy that I started following because he was doing gameplay of it, and he was talking about how it's the Final Fantasy that we deserve, and I kind of agree. Gonna be honest, what a great game! I'm still only at the end of Act 1, but what a great game!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm near the end of Act 2, but we'll see. We'll see.
Right, and so Expedition 33. I'm playing it on the Xbox. Are you playing it on the Xbox as well? It's on Game Pass?
Yes. Yeah. Although I also bought it.
I'm kind of an Xbox gamer now. Again, I haven't been playing games. I'm kind of back playing Xbox again, D.
I'm glad.
And the big thing of this is Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 being on Xbox has changed everything for me. I am already level 20 in a week, right? It's been about a week. I hit level 20. I just hit it right before this. Actually, I was playing right before we started recording, and doing an actual Helldive difficulty. Good lord, that's hard. But
yeah,
those
higher difficulties are a challenge for sure.
The trick is just don't stop moving. Really, that's it. If you're having a hard time playing, it was interesting. One of our friends that David and I used to play Ark with all the time. Joined me the other day, and so apparently were playing on easy, and then they joined on me, and I did like whatever the difficulty is past hard, right? Like level 6 or something, because I didn't know they were playing on easy, and they didn't have anything that could damage anything. Like they had barely played the game, and I had to do an SOS flare because like. It was pretty brutal. We had Bile Titans. Like that's the level of difficulty.
Yeah.
And stuff. And but it was a good time. Once we survived that, we dropped the difficulty and had fun. But it's interesting seeing when you play Helldivers versus a different shooter, the different things you notice. Like I noticed that they didn't move around so much. I noticed that they would stop to call stratagems, or like they would stop walking. Or an even more interesting one is they would like keep fighting and not call a stratagem, like try and finish the fight
Oh, sure.
before
Yeah.
calling a stratagem. And it's just like,
Yeah.
no way, dude. Like calling a reinforcement. If someone dies, if I have 1 second, I quick call in a reinforce.
You
Right?
kind of have to. Yeah. I mean, otherwise you're just you're taking too much of a risk. Like,
Yeah, you get swarmed. Ooh, you need to get online. If you're at your Xbox, get on there right now. The Hatchet is on sale in the credit store for 200 super credits.
ooh, okay.
Get it, because Dustberry and I, one of our other friends, we were doing a mission, and I was using the ballistic shield and the hatchet against bugs, and we were holding a point, and he was standing behind me with a shotgun, and we were just going to town on these bugs on like a high difficulty too. Like all these bugs, I was just ripping them apart. I don't even have the armor that gives you like 50% melee damage. And anyone that got past me or tried to flank me, he would shoot him with a shotgun. It was awesome. It was such a good time. The game, I know this is like not sponsored. What a good game. It's so much
Really
fun.
is. Yeah. No, I
What a fun
agree.
game to
Yeah.
play. And now, see, this is, we're segueing. We're going to segue. I have started playing the Xbox more because I actually moved it out of my studio and I moved it upstairs into the den, right? So now when I play, I have the Xbox plugged into a projector, so we can't use it during the daytime. And then I have it plugged into my capture card, which I'm monitoring on my iPad. So I'm also just, I just have my iPad up and I'm using my iPad as my monitor, basically. And it's interesting because now I find myself wanting to play more. There's this weird thing that actually having the Xbox in my music studio, I I often felt kind of bad playing because I felt like I could be working. Does that
Oh,
make sense?
sure. Yeah. No, I get
Like,
the same way, especially like on a PC. Because it's like,
yeah,
okay, I could be doing like a bunch of different things on this PC instead of just gaming. And so like maybe I should, and just
right. And so moving it up there, when I play, I go upstairs, but it's so hot in Japan right now. It's like 95 degrees. And the upstairs, heat goes up and the AC isn't as good up there and such. And so, like, it's just hot up there while I'm up there. But it's also kind of cool because I'm physically close to Johnny's loft. So when we play, we can actually, like, just physically talk to each other and stuff. But here's the other issue: I don't have a couch or anything up there, right? So it's literally almost the same setup. I'm sitting on an office chair using my iPad as a monitor, right?
uh-huh.
So I was like, maybe I should bring it back downstairs and use my iPad as a monitor down here, right? Don't forget your speaker. My wife just came into the studio to get her books. So I'm like, maybe I should bring it back into the studio, but then, I don't want to be moving it around all the time. Because here's the weird problem, and this is the heart of what the discussion I wanted to have, is I want to make our upstairs den like another social gathering space. But right now we don't have any of this stuff. Yeah, there's a projector up there with a sheet so we can watch stuff at night, but there's like no couch up there. We want to buy a couch. I think this weekend I'm going to go to the store and look at some couches. There's no couch up there. There's nowhere to sit, that kind of stuff. So it's like kind of got half of the stuff it needs, right? To be kind of like a more chill space. And so part of me wants to move the Xbox back into the studio, but part of me doesn't, because it's like, well, I want the Xbox to be up there. And then the other thing is I need to buy a new TV. I need to buy another TV so that we can use that space during the day, right, with the projector, or because the projector doesn't always work. So like we need to get a big TV. All of this is not currently in the budget,
That's the tough part is when the things aren't in the budget. Yeah. I definitely understand that.
right? When you're like, listen, we need to spend like $1,500.
It's funny
you
because
know,
like the problem that I usually run into is that when I have a like flexible funds to spend, I usually can't think of very much that I want or need. But then when I'm spend that all on like nonsense or whatever, or in like a little bit like less flexible in my spending habits, less privileged, let's say. I don't that's when I suddenly remember, oh shoot, it would be really nice to have this. This would actually make my life a lot better. It's just like shoot,
Mm.
like yeah, always
Well,
happens that way for me.
and for us too, right? There's this level of, yeah, I'm talking about getting a TV and playing Xbox and getting a couch up there. But these are all things that the whole family would enjoy, right?
Right.
If we made that
Yeah.
space more comfortable, we can have the Switch and the Xbox set up to this big TV. You know, we would have a whole nother secondary living room space upstairs. That would actually be really nice because I could also literally spend all of that money on like a new pair of headphones for myself for work, right? But I'm going to be
Right.
the only person using it. Like actually, like the headphones I want to buy are like cost double what the couch I was looking at is going to cost. So, yeah, it's but then trying to figure out how and when and all of that is just kind of frustrating. So maybe I will move the Xbox down here, but then I worry that I won't play very much because I'm in the studio. And if I'm in here and like all of my music gear's in here, I'm going to be like, "Oh, like I should be working on music. I shouldn't be playing video games." You know?
Yeah, it's something about like a certain environment too, which is more conducive to like work, or like at least making you feel like you should work, which is unfortunate that like we get that connotation in our minds. But on the other hand, maybe not a bad thing, you know? It's
Mm,
just yeah. Because like on one hand, like that can absolutely like motivate and like remind you and like keep you focused, you know, on what you need to do. And like that could be really good. Like having like one of the things that I remember hearing a long time ago was like make sure that you like whenever you're working at home to have like a separate environment for that work, because like that way you'll never associate like your resting place with like your workplace and vice versa. And like I think that that's probably pretty good advice. Uh but on the other hand, it sucks because like whenever you're in that workplace environment, you kind of almost automatically switch into like, shoot, I need to like be productive here, you know? And
right.
yeah.
Which when you're your own boss, right? So like as a musician, when I really need to sit down and focus and like I you know what, I've got to compose like 10 more tracks for an album that's going to come out in October. It's nice to have a space that I can sit down and focus and do that in,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Um but then there's also like I'm upstairs playing games and it's like and I'm just sitting there sweating. I'm still sitting in an office chair sitting at a desk, right? Like how different is it really? I don't know. I don't know. I
Like,
want
yeah, like I mean, like there's no practical difference, but it's like I don't know. Like I'm not like huge on like auras, but I do think that like we do mentally like connects in our brains. Like
Oh, yeah. No, 100%.
yeah.
100%. So if anyone who's listening wants to send me, you know what? I don't even need $1,500. I could probably get this done for like a grand. If anyone wants to send me $1,000 to make all this work, feel free to do that. Go ahead. I don't mind. But anything in the news for gaming this week, D, other than Helldivers 2 on Xbox and that it's great. It's just awesome. I'm having such a good time.
I mean, like, I don't know. I've been playing a little bit of Helldivers. I've been playing a little bit of Expedition 33. Like, those are both going really well. Uh, it's just been a little bit of a challenging time with my uncle
Mhm.
passing and everything. But like, I've been actually playing a game called No One Wants to Die, which between that and Expedition 33, like both having like death as like a like kind of like a centerpiece topic have been really interesting. But No One Wants to Die is definitely not like I would say family friendly. Like there's lots of profanity. Um
Mm.
but like other than that, like it's a really, really intriguing game where essentially like people rent out body shells, and like so those bodies get like recycled or whatever as long as possible. And like
Okay.
yeah. And and then there's like a whole like atmosphere of like, well, how young can like a body be rented out at and everything too. Like the government is trying to make it 19 at the time that you jump into the game. And so like there's this whole like, but it's also like essentially a detective game. Like you're like there's not a ton of like action or combat. You essentially go into an environment and you like try to find clues, and it's kind of almost guided in a way. Like I don't think
Mhm.
you can like really like, I think it kind of pushes you towards every clue. I don't know how many you can miss. I'm sure you could miss some, but I think like by and large it's almost like an interactive experience in a way. But
Mhm.
like the whole like experiencing the story is really interesting, and like I mean like it's a cyberpunk-ish world. Uh really enjoying it actually. Really curious about like how it keeps on going. Uh I kind of I don't know. Like on one hand it's a trope, and it's like kind of mainstream for detective noir games where you're like this 40-year-old like, or like maybe a little bit younger, a little bit older, you know, like disgruntled jaded cop or whatever, you know, like who's like out from the force because like he was too much of a rebel or whatever, you know,
Right, right, yeah.
partnered with like somebody new who's like, you know, like by the book and everything. And like it's like, okay, like this story has been told like a billion times. Like I mean like but like the whole like setting I think is keeping me kind of invested. And then like the whole like idea of like, you know, like this is almost like organ donorship, but instead like your whole body gets essentially like reused or whatever, and like how much you can like, can you tap into those memories or not and whatnot. You know, like it's just it's interesting. It is.
It
But it
reminds me a little bit of Gamer. Do you remember that movie Gamer?
sure. Yeah. It's kind of like that. Yeah.
A little bit of Gamer, and it reminds me a little bit of Altered Carbon.
Yes, actually, it's very, like, similar to our Altered Carbon. Man, I should rewatch that, actually, that's a great call
I
out.
also should rewatch that because I remember it being great. Did you watch season 2?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
I remember really liking both seasons,
yeah,
and it was canceled, which is sad.
which is sad.
Apparently it's a novel. I'm just looking this up right now. That's nice to know. Maybe I'll have to read it sometime. But the huh, seems cool, right?
Yeah,
That it's a cool premise.
yeah.
It sounds awesome. What are you
But
playing
it
it on?
also it I'm playing it on Xbox. I ended up, buying a couple of games that I normally wouldn't have bought because, like, I felt a little bit like, "Hey, I have Game Pass, I get a lot of games for quote unquote free with that subscription service. Like, why not
Mhm,
take a chance on a couple other ones that are like highly rated and whatnot?" And like, I mean, like anything Cyberpunk kind of has me a little bit like, you know, interested. Uh,
mhm.
like, I mean, for instance, speaking of Cyberpunk tweeted on the platform formerly known as Twitter,
Uh-huh. They posted on X, you mean? Uh-huh.
uh, today actually at 10:02 a.m. Message for NUSA citizens, September 4th, 2025. Our great nation is once again facing a mounting cybersecurity threat from those who hide in the shadows, too cowardly to publicly proclaim their beliefs, who are viciously determined to tear down our flag and the values it upholds. I will not accept this, and I know you won't either. The NUSA is seeking brave netrunners to join our efforts and overcome this grave threat. Our brave agents work tirelessly to keep our country secure, maintain its dominance, and defend it from those so eager to undermine it. Now you can join us in our fight for freedom. I personally welcome all who believe that they have what it takes. Take our recruitment test. Prove yourself. Serve the NUSA. Like they just
What?
dropped like an image with this text on it. And
What
like
does it
apparently
mean?
that great question. Like there's all kinds of theories, like, but like nobody knows for sure. Some are thinking maybe it's a mobile game. Some are thinking maybe it's a multiplayer DLC. Some are thinking that like maybe it's like like some kind of like thing relating to like the Netflix property. Like nobody really knows what it means. Like it's really curious. It does seem to indicate or like kind of implies some kind of like multiplayer aspect, but I mean like to what degree and what form, like nobody knows. But apparently we might find out in like on Thursday, I guess. It's just yeah.
So I don't know what this is going to say about me. I forget that people like Cyberpunk as a game. That
Oh
is it
sure.
a
Yeah.
thing? I remember when it came out, um, people were really excited about it. I mean, I paid $60 for it, right? Bought it
Right.
outright. People streaming it and thinking like super pumped for it, but then I remember the game just not working really well at all,
Right.
right? I myself, 20 hours in, had a game breaking glitch, and I've not gone back to the game primarily because at this point it's been so long. I almost feel like I should restart. And I also didn't get so far in the story of the game, right? Like I was exploring and doing all this other stuff. Um, but like to me, that game was such a miss that it's really hard for me to think about that. Like there's like a pretty big following, and there's a lot of people who love it and love the aesthetic of it. You know what I mean? Like, does
Right.
that make sense?
Yeah.
That like just to miss something and it actually like surprises you that it's popular. You know, because like it almost reminds me of, except that it's not popular, like Mass Effect Andromeda.
I would
Of
agree. I mean like it's tough to tell though too, like on the internet what's like actually real and what's not, you know? Like I mean like when there's a bunch of people like screaming about like something being bad or whatever, it might just be like a very small loud group of people. Or it might be the majority of people being represented in that. Like it's really tough to tell.
right, and so I know. Would you say that you are a fan of Cyberpunk?
Absolutely. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Okay, so like I didn't even know that. I know one person who's like really into Cyberpunk, maybe two people. And it's just so shocking to me, like these kinds of announcements and stuff. Cause to me, it's like, oh, wasn't that like a, cause then there are other things that I really liked that just flopped, right? I'm looking over at Anthem in the corner
Yeah.
over here
Yeah.
of like a game I put a lot of hours into, did a lot of builds, all of this stuff, really tried to support the best I could. And they just were a flop. And everyone being like, it's not fun. I don't play the game. Oh, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And it's like, are we even playing the same game? So,
That's
but
always
now
so
I'm on
curious
the
to me
flip side of
too,
it of
because like
something that's very supported, apparently, that
but
people
then
like.
also I feel like the problem with like things like Anthem is that the majority of people didn't play them or didn't play them very long, you know? Like I mean like I don't know. I feel like most of the people who complained about Anthem like basically read like an IGN article that like complained a lot about the end game and like took away from it that the game sucks, you know? But like I mean like never actually played it. Like I know that it sold a decent amount, but I mean like yeah, it's
And I know that it feels like we talk about Anthem every podcast, but like it's just interesting with Cyberpunk for me because I'm on the flip side of that of like they're making announcements and doing this stuff, and to me it's like, are they still doing stuff with this game? Which I know
well,
they are
so
because it was one of the games that was announced for Switch too, right?
yep. Yep. And well, like, and they keep on putting out like essentially, I wouldn't say like just cosmetic updates, but like essentially like like gameplay enhancement updates, you know? Like not brand new, like tons of new content, but like just making it better, more polished, like certain things
But
be
see,
better.
this is
Like,
something that I have a hard time with too, especially with games that are finished, quote unquote finished, right?
sure.
Like, it's like the idea that I bought a finished game, however long ago that was. What was that, 4 years ago?
Yeah,
And
something
that
like
I'm going to
that.
sign
Three.
in and
Yeah.
have a totally different experience, really, where they like revamped some of the combat stuff and change this and change this and change this. I really struggle with that, actually. Like, it's one of the things that's hard for me with Stardew, and I know that this is like a me problem, right? Because I have this idea of what this game is. And so for it to be really different, I just like can't mentally take it. But that's where I'm at, right? What do you mean they changed it? What?
Yeah. No, I can kind of understand it. Like, I feel like that's how I kind of feel about No Man's Sky, actually, which just released yet another DLC that like drastically changes the game. And it's like, wait, like I bought this game like for what it was originally, like, and now it's completely different. Like, on one hand, that's cool. Like, it seems like they've added a ton of like content to it. But
Mhm.
like on the other, it's like I don't know that I want to like go back into this and start from scratch and relearn it and learn it a completely different way when I already had like a pre-existing kind of notion of what this game is.
You're
I don't
saying we
know.
don't want to
Yeah.
look for chlorine on planets anymore? Is that that's not the game anymore? Right? Right? For real.
I mean,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, Fortnite's getting there for me too. You know, I stopped playing after the Avatar: The Last Airbender update, and now whenever I watch my son play it, I have no idea what's happening. I'm like, what? What is this? Or Minecraft? Right? Like, or then when I play it, I feel like I'm playing like an old person would, right? Like I'm doing the stuff that it's like, oh, you must have like played this game like in the early days because like we don't do it like that anymore, kind of a deal. So yeah, and it's hard because I don't want to make it like come off like, oh, I don't like it when they support games or when they change games because that's not the case. That's not what I mean. But it is hard. You know, this oh man, D, we're so good at this. Let's bring it all the way back around. You know, your brain makes associations, right? With
Sure.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just
This
places,
is
but
true.
games and stuff. A game, it's kind of a place, right? And so it's like, okay, well, like when I'm here in this game doing this, this is what I should be doing. And
Ooh,
for
yeah. Yep.
that to
Yeah. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
be the case anymore, it's really difficult. And I find myself being like, if I'm going to learn a new, like, so here's it for me. This is maybe coming from a place of privilege. Granted, I think this place of privilege is accessible to more people because of Xbox Game Pass. If I'm going to learn to play a new game, it's going to be a new game,
Sure.
right? I
Yeah.
don't want
No,
to
I
go.
understand
I'm
that.
I'm going to go
Yeah.
back to this 5-year-old game and have to learn how to play a new game. I might as well play a new game, right? And with Game Pass, you can do that for just $20 a month or whatever it is now. You know, adjusted for inflation, it's probably a great deal. It's probably even better than it used to be, adjusted for inflation.
I would
You
agree
know,
with that.
20
Oh, some Xbox Game Pass news. Apparently, they're working on adding. You're gonna hate this. Cloud gaming to the other tiers, which is cool, I think. But I know you don't like cloud gaming, so.
You know what's really cool? You know what's awesome is like, hey, do you guys want to have a bad experience playing games? Like, okay, I've been talking about how I'm playing games now again, right? I'm playing Helldivers. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm trying to take time. You know, I rebought that game Hard Space Shipbreaker because it was on sale on Steam. I've been playing it on my Steam Deck. So good.
Okay, yeah.
I love working in a space junkyard. The You know what's so great is we're so addicted to gaming now that we're like, hey, you know what? I need a hit of game so bad. I'm gonna have like a crappy experience. You know? You're like, it doesn't even need to be great. A great game experience. Just let me play game. Hey, you got
I
any
think it's
game? I need to
better
play
than
game.
like not having access to it. I don't know. I think there's definitely
Sure.
legitimate like uses
Sure.
to it.
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course. You know what? Crappy game is better than no game.
Yeah.
Sure.
Exactly. Sure.
Yeah, that's how addicted we are that we're like, "Man, you know what? I don't need to drink I don't need to drink clean water. You can give me that, like, brown, gross, disgusting water. It's better than nothing." That's how it feels. Like, can they just make cloud gaming good before they release it to everybody? Like, try and get it to more people? Like, could they just do that? Could they improve it? How about that?
I mean, they
That's a
are
cool
like it's
idea.
way better than it was when it launched. Like, I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
sure. That's not saying much, you know? It's way better than it was when it launched. Okay. You know, okay, so here's a great example. Hard Space Shipbreaker. I played that on my Xbox, but I played it on my Xbox One X. And it's an Xbox Series game. So I actually had to stream it to my Xbox One X. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Um, Playing it installed on a Steam Deck is way better. This is better. Like in literally every way, it's just
I
better.
think
Like it
the
just
if
plays
nothing
better.
else, the consistency of it is better. But I mean, like they're investing significant resources into both cloud gaming and remote play. So I mean, like I don't know. We'll
There
see where
is
things are
one
after like
situation
they've.
for me where I found remote play to be better, that I liked it more. And that was playing actually Ark Survival Evolved. It loaded quicker in remote play than it did on my Xbox.
That's really funny. That's really funny.
But I also live in Japan and I was playing on like US servers. So my ping was always like 140 or whatever. So like I was
Yeah.
always used to it being not super twitchy, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
So,
Well, and the screen tearing in
yeah,
that game is abysmal, like at all times.
right.
So I mean,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
It's not great. It looks bad.
yeah.
So it worked out the whole time. Playing it that way was actually fine for me.
That's really funny though.
So I played Ark when I was last, and then it would like load up way quicker, right? So that one was okay, sure, but the other than that, no. But so here's the problem though, or I would say this. Here's my worry. This is my prediction going out. If they add cloud gaming to the other tiers, it gives them a reason to charge more
Yeah,
for them.
that is potentially a concern for sure. I think that the price of Game Pass will have to rise eventually at some point anyway, with them slowly like trickling in all the Activision stuff. I still don't know why they're trickling it though. I don't know why they're not just like throwing it all on there in like clumps at least, if not all at once. But yeah,
Because they're yeah, who knows, but that's like I have this issue. One of my credit cards has an annual fee, and so it's like an American based credit card. So honestly, a lot of the perks of it I can't even really access because I don't live in the US. So they're like, oh, look at all, because we added all of these features, my annual fee is higher. And I don't even live in the States, so I don't even get these benefits, right? Which is a huge bummer, but it's kind of, it is what it is where I'm at with it.
sure.
Um,
Yeah.
but on that note, since we have a spotty connection, why don't we just wrap up? You have any closing comments you want to make, D? Let's wrap up and maybe play some Helldivers.
No closing comments, I don't think. I mean, nothing else I can think of beyond, I mean, it's a shame that our Final Fantasy discussion didn't make it.
We had a great Final Fantasy
That
discussion,
was a
but
really
again,
good.
we record these live, so if you guys want to join in, feel free to
True.
join in. There is
Yeah.
information for that at some point in the podcast. Good luck spelling an F here. That's all I'm going to say. Good luck. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and do all the things, and we will catch you all later. Bye. Get out of here, Craig.